I mean, when I went to Tom Dwyer, what I've been consistently impressed with was the kind of personal nature of the service. I mean, it sits in a place that I, for whatever reason, didn't recognize was there. Now that I do, but it's almost like it is in a small town, and they behave as though you're in a small town, and they give you the kind of service that you would think that you would only get living in a small town. And it's pretty cool when you have a vehicle that you spend a lot of money on and recognize you have to keep for a long time. To have somebody that is so tuned into your vehicle and is very focused on even the most minute details. So it isn't like you wouldn't even be characterizing it correctly to say it's good service, because there's a lot of places that give good service. It's very personalized, and it's the kind of service that I'm willing to pay for. I mean, I've never been rich, I'll never be rich, but I learned a long time ago you will oftentimes save money by paying to have something done right the first time. And that's how I feel about the service that Tom Dwyer gives. It's just done confidently and right, and they take the time to make sure that it is done right. And starting with that first experience of installing the computer in the car, I mean, it just felt like they were doing the things that I would have guessed one would do. And you're often disappointed in when you're trying to get service, whether it's on your vehicle or whatever. I mean, it's like you always have to be careful, and you're not so sure what you're getting when you pay for it. I would have no hesitation at all in referring anybody to go to Tom Dwyer, because I just feel like they get the same level of attention and service I did. It's very unusual. And it's just nice knowing that I don't have to worry that they check everything and that something doesn't get looked over. They gave me a complete report on my car, even though it only had 17,000 miles on it. So the issues with my car. Oh, I had a cracked windshield. And I forgot about that. I had a cracked windshield. I drove to Canada and picked up a rock, and it started as a chip, and then it evolved into a crack. And it's kind of one of those things that it was low enough that it wasn't obscuring my vision. It was right down where kind of like towards the bottom of the windshield. So I was like, well, I'm just not going to take the time to mess with this and go to a windshield shop. I can live with it. So they called me, and when they had the vehicle in to do service, and said, so you have a cracked windshield, I mean, we can fix it here. I'm like, really? You could do that there? Yeah, do it. Like, the same time it was in to get the oil change. And it was like, because I'm busy, and I have a lot of stuff going on, and I never have time to do stuff like that. So you just live with it, right? And it was just nice to have them take the vehicle in and look at it, and not just go, okay, what are we doing today? Oil, lube, okay, done, get it. Not why I went to Tom Dwyer. And this is the other hack that I have. So as a consumer, what I look for is value for my dollar, because I'm a working class guy. I've always been a working class guy. I'll always be a working class guy, and I have to make sure that every dollar I spend, I get the best value possible, and that there be some confidence in me when I give something as valuable as one of my vehicles to somebody I don't know, that they're not going to do something to diminish the value of that. And that hasn't always happened. I mean, I haven't always had a good experience with that. And so what I was immediately attracted to Tom Dwyer and his staff was not the environmental stuff, because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know they were engaged in that kind of thing at all. Had no clue. I went there because I really appreciated the reaction that I got. I really appreciated, to my email, I really appreciated the tenor and the intelligence behind the responses I got. I get a lot of emails, I read a lot of stuff. I can tell when somebody's on the ball. What I recognized from this guy, Tom Dwyer, who I didn't know from Adam, was this guy was on the ball. Didn't know if he had an operation that was he and two guys, and the two guys were his brothers or kids, or I had no idea. And I was just impressed with the thoughtfulness of his response to my inquiry. And then when I went in and I kind of saw the operation, and then saw there was a website, went to the website, I was like, wow, this is one of those few times in my life where I've fallen into something really cool. And this business is really cool. I mean, yeah, I get why he reacted the way he did now, because he does think like I think, and he does, I mean, that is what I would do if I got an email like that. I'd say, well, let me look into it and find out about it. And he did exactly what often we all say, well, this is how I would have done that. He actually did it. And so I was really, just as a consumer, just like, cool, this is, I mean, it isn't good enough for me for people to do environmentally correct things if they're irresponsible in the handling of my stuff.